What's up everyone, John from ARTV. Sorry for my week-long absence. It was a weird week, a lot of stuff going on. Went out of town and I'm not even going to get into it. Time to talk about Joey Bada's debut LP. He's a rapper from New York. This one's called Before.Da. Couple of singles dropped from this thing beforehand. Christ Conscious is one of those, and I honestly had not heard anything from this project beforehand. I just went into it cold and just decided to form my opinions from there. I had never listened to this man prior to Before.Da. As I usually say with my hip-hop reviews, no, I don't cover a ton of rap or hip-hop, but I had a lot of requests for this one, and I always like checking out new things. And Joey Bada has surprised me with this thing. It took about a week of listening to it for it to really grow on me. I've been listening to it on and off, and it just seems like through repeated listens, I start to hear things that I might not have heard the first time around. There's bass lines that trickle in, the instrumentation, it's very atmospheric. Joey's flows on this thing seem like very personal at times. He digs into things like relationships, growing up, just seeing division in his own race. He talks about that one on the track Black Beetles. I just think he's a pretty smart lyricist from what I'm gathering here in this LP. He keeps the guest features to a minimum and really lets his own voice be heard. Right off the bat, he opens up with a smart track, Save the Children. It's got a nice little instrumental on this thing. Once again, I'm talking atmospheric and kind of laid back, chill production. He's stripping away a lot of what we see in modern hip-hop, a lot of that extra flair, a lot of that flavor that just says, like, I've got this glamorous lifestyle. That's stripped away, and that's nice to see from someone his age. He's only 20 years old. This project was dropped January 20th, the date of his 20th birthday, and I think it's refreshing to hear a young man just kind of talking about the issues that he sees, seeing life through his eyes. And no, he's not the first person to do this, and I'm not saying that it's always the most interesting thing in the world, but it's cool to see that someone out there still cares about something more than just the glamour and the money and, you know, the lifestyle that's associated with being a rapper. Joey talks about money like it's this addicting drug, something that, you know, you have to have. You pretty much, it's gonna happen. If you're blowing up, money, it changes everything. He starts talking about this on the track Paper Trails, definitely one of the highlights on this LP for me. He talks about his family, his mom in particular, and just how cash ruined everything around him as he speaks on the hook. It's got a nice little scratch, it's got the turntable samples going throughout it as he really just flows over this really chilled out beat that gets its point across, because I think we're seeing his personality and his mind in the spotlight, and we're just kind of taking that forceful instrumentation away, and it's nice to see that the focus is shifted elsewhere. You'll hear throughout this LP phone calls with friends, him like kind of playing songs and sampling them for people, and you'll hear like a little clip from like an interview. I'm not sure if it's like a staged interview or if it's something that's actually real. Big Dusty is one of the tracks that kind of just like fades in like that. Post-interview after Peace of Mind, and I think that that's another one that's kind of risen to the top in terms of the tracks that I'm really favoring on this LP. It's got this kind of weird offbeat keyboard production on it, and it's kind of like weird, maybe something you would hear in the background of like a horror movie or something like that, because the keys don't like perfectly line up, but at the same time they don't really need to in order for them to work. Number 99 has this really cool bass groove going on for it, just kind of rocking the beat back and forth. He's got a lot of metaphors on this one, definitely related to the sea, to the ocean, and it's interesting talking about rocking the boat, all these other things. I don't know, I just really liked his wordplay here on that one, and Christ Conscious that follows directly after it. Both kind of a 1-2 hit. They're both shorter songs, but they really, really do work and show off Joey's talent. There are some things on this LP that I'm not really feeling though. A couple of the tracks that feature guests on the songs, like Maverick Sabre on and On, that one just kind of does kind of drag its feet on and on, as the song would kind of lead you to believe almost. That one, as well as Belly of the Beast featuring Chronics, is just not one that I'm really feeling shows off what he can do. He seems to kind of drown himself in the production on that one, gets caught up in trying to be in this certain vein, in this certain atmosphere, and I don't think that it really works for Joey, especially on those two tracks like I mentioned. OCB is another one towards the end of this thing that slows things down, and I'm not really feeling the track Escape 120 featuring Rory. Rory comes in and delivers this really fast-paced verse, and it doesn't really suit the style of Before.Da. This whole album has this nice solid vernacular, this nice flow going on all throughout it, if you will. It feels very connected, and then Rory's verse, while not bad by any means, especially in terms of its lyrical content, it just feels out of place. Jesus View is the last track that I'll mention. It's the one that grew on me the most, I guess, from the first time that I ever heard it. For me, it paints this view of him like kind of going out and like being in the city. It feels like you're riding around in a cab, maybe seeing New York for the first time. I don't know why. That's the choice that I got in my head, the image that was painted for me, but that's kind of what I got. It feels a little bit more spirited, a little bit more lively, I guess you will, in terms of its production, and the hook on this thing is actually really solid. I can't say for sure that this is something that'll stay on repeat all throughout the year, but it definitely surprised me in some ways. There were some letdown tracks on this record, but I went into it with no expectations. That's kind of the key here, I think, for me. I just didn't have any preconceived notions about Joey Badass, and I could just allow myself to have an unfiltered opinion. For me, Before the Money is a 3.5 out of 5. Let me know your thoughts on this record, Before the Money, in the comments section down below. Don't forget to smash the like button on this video and subscribe to the channel if you would like to see more reviews from yours truly. I appreciate all the support here on this channel. In the past month or so, we have really gotten a lot of new subscribers, so I appreciate all of you new subscribers. Hello to you. Let me know that you're here in the comments section down below, and of course, if you'd like to help out the channel with a donation, it's the top link in the description down below, along with all of my social media links. I will see you very soon right here on ARTV.